embodied form for us to experience Paramashiva. For example, Devi Parashakti expresses through the being of Rajarajeshwari and manifests as an Ijavatada, the physical form of Devi Meenakshi. And the Archavatara, the deity, reflects the consciousness and manifestation being of the superconscious energy. But human beings are not mature enough to receive these higher level experiences directly from the Archavatara. So the avatar, the physical embodied form, comes down to bridge the gap and creates the experience of the superconscious energy in all of us. And the Bhavasmati Darshan awakens your Kundalini Shakti, which is the latent potential energy in every human being. This influx of superconscious energy visibly slows down the aging process and improves immunity to disease. And during the darshan, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energy that heals, empowers, and transforms our lives. And during the Bhavasmati darshan, our neurons mirror that of the avatar. The mirror neurons activate and process all the observed movements of the avatar just by seeing. That is, the entire body can silently and without moving receive what is happening elsewhere through a process of direct observation, experiencing the superconscious energy radiated by the avatar. The Akashic readings are not predictions, they are readings from the cosmic archive. Beyond space, creation and destruction happen simultaneously, and in the dimension of time starts the past, present, and future. And because Akashic records are stored in the Akasha, the space dimension, there is no past, present, and future. That is why what you call as happening, yet to happen, are clearly already recorded. So now, with this, we will be entering into the demonstration of the extraordinary powers, the extraordinary Shakti of Paramashivoham Parashakti. And we will be witnessing these powers as demonstrated by the Nithyananda Yogis, the Nithyananda Gurukul Balasans, and the initiated disciples of the Supreme Concept. We'll be entering into this segment very shortly. Do stay tuned and stay tuned for the beautiful Navaratri celebrations that we have coming up in the evening and the live darshan of the Supreme Concept itself. So stay tuned for all of the grand festivities today.
Nithyananda everyone. I welcome all of you to this segment of Dave Prashik's Akashik reading, where you'll be witnessing how the various parts of Paramashiva being manifested over here. Yes. So today the Balasans of Nithyananda Gurukul and the Nithyananda Yogis of who are the initiated disciples of Supreme Father Hinduism will now be demonstrating to all of you and sharing with all the experience and results of the extraordinary manifestation of divine powers, which is awakened in all of us through the power of Diksha, which is in today's Dave Parashik's Akashic training, all of you will be receiving two initiations into the powers of the Chaya awakening and various other powers, the blessings and the grace of Supreme Content of Hinduism. Today, you will be manifesting two extraordinary powers, which is the power of third eye, seeing with eyes blindfolded, and thought currents scanning, while you are scanning others' thought currents. Yes. So let's come to the subject. What are Shaktis? So in the Vedas and Agamas, which is source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva beautifully reveals in an elaborate, detailed manner that every human being is hardwired to be able to manifest the first 63 plus extraordinary powers of Paramashiva. So manifesting these powers or Shaktis are described as a system or a method, a science for human beings to explore the various possibilities and powers and have access to various states of consciousness. Shakti is manifest in the fundamental cognition that you are a divine, you need to manifest divine, rather than man and you need to reach divine. So, what are Shaktis? Shaktis expresses the space of enlightenment, a side effect of feeling connection with the divine and high integrity with the Guru, the Master. Shaktis are source of enlightenment, whereas Siddhis are the powers that manifest tapas or parents for enlightenment. Siddhis are the path of enlightenment. Shaktis manifest in ordinary human beings in an external way right after initiation from avatar, whereas Siddhis may divert you from enlightenment itself. Shaktis are permanent, whereas Siddhis are not permanent. So, who are the source of all these Shaktis? Source is Paramashiva, who is the primal divinity in Hinduism, who is the ultimate reality and cause, who is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, all pervading, unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. As a fundamental base of Avyakta, the unmanifest existence, and Vyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakritya, or the five cosmic acts of Srishti, creation, sthiti, serve and rulership and maintenance, samhara, regeneration, trabhava, pulling out of delusion, and nugraha, the breaking grace, all living entities in the multiverse. So, Dawat, or the supreme point of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidavan, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the 1,008th living incarnation and representative of Paramashiva, and the reviver of Kailasa, which is the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization tradition, the great cosmic godless religion. Ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which is Hinduism, has been a cradle for the enlightened beings and highly advanced senses. It was where the sense of enlightenment and powers was lived and taught as a lifestyle for each and every one of us in our daily lives. For the first time in modern day, the Supreme Court of Hinduism is reviving these yogic sciences and transferring it to the world at a record-breaking, never accomplished ever before. So you can see the Guru Parampara, how the science of power manifestation, the knowledge of these sciences has been transmitted through one generation to the next through the power of initiation or Diksha by the enlightened ones. So Swamiji, being recognized as his incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught into these sciences so that he can revive and initiate millions to these knowledge and a process for billions to manifest the science of power manifestation from the discipline of Vedanta, Tantra, Shri Vidya, Yoga, Yogic powers, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, science of Aushara, Advaita, Bhakti Yoga, Paramashivoham, and ultimately Paramashivoham. All of us will be having this question: how do you awaken this divine powers in all of us? Well, it is as easy. This is just an initiation from another, where every ultimate truth, jnana, mapped into your consciousness, which is prajna, manifests as a power and possibility of every being, which is if you're watching a short clip on what exactly is Diksha. Diksha, look for mantra just by word and a word. So let's now watch a short clip on what exactly is Diksha and what are its various parts.
Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened being through look, word, or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states, Sarvasamapi dikshanam muktihi phalamakhanditam avirodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayah. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, health, wealth, leadership and well-being happen. And in Rudrayamala Tantra, Shiva says, Devi diksha vihinasya na siddhihi na cha sadgatihi tasmat sarva prayatnena guruna dikshito bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should get initiated by Guru. What is the science of initiation? Neuro proved that the process of initiation floods the brain with energy. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, it sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent non-mechanical parts which we have never used before. With increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging process and improves the Kundalini awakening, healing experience, levitation, teleportation, materialization. Experience the power of initiation through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Yes. Yes, so the science of power manifestation is authenticated through four aspects of evidence or pramanas in Hinduism. So first is the Shastra Pramana, which is the eternal unchangeable truths revealed in the soul scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. And second is the Apta Pramana, the experiences and results of Aptas or the saints, the Vedic rishis, who time tested and verified this science of power manifestation. And next is the Atma Pramana, supreme point of Hinduism's personal experience science. And last is the Pratyaksha Pramana, the empirical evidence or the scientific observation and done on the science of power manifestation. So you'll be wondering what are the Vedas and the Agamas. So Vedas and Agamas are the applied living science. So Vedas are the ultimate truths that explain it very detailedly. And Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded. So Vedas and Agamas, Veda Agamas, are given the status of Shruti, As they directly revealed by Paramashiva, they are the ultimate, eternal, unchangeable truths. So a reference taken from these source scriptures is called the Shastra Pramana or the scripture reference. So let's now get ready to witness a live, unique, and exciting demonstration of the power of today. So today all of it we will be demonstrating two extraordinary powers where first power we will be seeing the power of seeing through the eye and second we will be seeing the power of body scan. So let's now listen to Shastra Pramana for the power of third eye reading which comes from Vijnana Bharatantra Sutra 34. कपालान्तर्मनोन्यसा तिष्ठन्मीलितलोचनः क्रमेण मनसोधाद्यात् लक्ष्ये लक्ष्यमुत्तमम्. The translation goes, by fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes closed in succession, by that stability of the mind and inner space, through the power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal Laksham by having the vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source Paramashivoham. And the next is the Apta Pramana, where this Apta Pramana is taken from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse 8, where Bhagavan Shri Krishna beautifully says to Arjuna, Natu mam shakyase drashtum anenaiva sa chakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogameshwaram. The translation goes, but you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore I grant you the divine third eye. Behold my cosmic opulence. In the Hindu Purana Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna teaches Arjuna the power of third eye to behold Shri Krishna's Vishnu Pradarshana, which is the cosmic form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. In the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which contains the detailed description of Bhagavan Shri Krishna's cosmic form, is completely narrated by Arjuna as he sees Bhagavan Shri Krishna through the third eye.
Inside and outside broke. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree, 10 direction, below me, everything. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience. I felt that the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. The setting sun, rising moon, the whole Arunachala hill, all the plants, bush, shrubs, trees, everything, everything, everything. Just became so alive. The idea, something is inside.
And yes, next is the Pratyaksha Pramana, the empirical evidence done, the scientific experimentation done on the science of power manifestation. So the study measures and compare the metabolic cell activity of the brain in conscious and meditative states using the positron emission tomography, the PET. So you can see over here this picture of Swamiji, So they did the test on him. So they concluded that when he was doing the daily activities, high activity is present in the brain where the third eye is located, and when Swamiji is in deep state of samadhi, only the third eye region is active and alive, and almost 90% of the brain is at peace. So let's now witness a live Sakshi Pramana done for the power of both, done for the power of third eye reading, done by the Balsins of Nithyananda Paramashivam after a short. Yes. So I'm back with a Balsan of Nithyananda Gurukul. So along with me I have Maniti Kaladhananda, and today she will be demonstrating the power of third eye for all of us. So along with me I have a medically tested Ivan. So you can see in the front there's a black color of paper sheet. And you see at the back there's two sockets. There's two holes. So once you wear the IBAN on, your eyes goes there and gets locked. It gets settled in the holes only. And there's nice thick sponge which cover all sides of the eyes. And there's not any sort of light to pass through. So basically this type of IBAN is designed for people who is suffering from disease of insomnia as they have a problem where they can't sleep with brightness. So they've designed this. So they've designed this IBAN for them. So now I will unstrap the IBAN and we put the IBAN on my color. Sumakala, are you comfortable? Yes. Now are you comfortable? Yes. So, of the third eye, Ma Kaladra will not be touching the IBAN, and if she wants any adjustment to be done, she will request me, and I'll be doing the adjustment for her. So now I request Ma Kaladra, I request you turn to your right, left, up, and down. So you can see that the IBAN is completely glued to Madra's eyes, so there's no way light can pass through in this IBAN. And yes, so now all the viewers who's watching us live right now, I request you to post anything you want, either emojis, letters, numbers, sentence, anything you want. Ma Kaladra will just reads by all of you in just in few seconds. So now I request the YouTube comments to be projected. Now, Kalada, you can go ahead.
Yes, the latest comment is from Kailas as MAJA WITMAJER. He has posted Nithyanandam to all blessings with a namaste emoji and a pink color heart with 5 diamonds on it and a pink color hibiscus.
Wow, wonderful. Yes.
And the previous comment is from Nithyananda Dev, and he has posted Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And the previous comment and the comment before Nithyananda Dev is from CRISPIANTSILDA has posted a namaste emoji, a trishul emoji, a om emoji with om in white color and a swag in purple color and a fire emoji and a red color heart emoji.
I request the YouTube comments to be scrolled up a bit.
And the previous comment is also from the same person, and she has posted Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham with a namaste emoji and a red color heart emoji.
Wow, wonderful. So all of you witness how the power of color is being manifested. And now I'll be unstrapping the ribbon from Makaladra. And you can see that the ribbon is still the same. No changes happen. And yes. So with this, simply moving ahead to the next power, which is the power of body scanning after a short break. So all the viewers in the meanwhile, if you want a body scanning, I request all of you to go to YouTube channel and post a comment that you want a body scanning, and the yogis will be doing a body scanning for you. Yes. Yes. So in this power of body scanning, so the initially disciples of the Supreme Path of Hinduism will have the ability to scan and reveal all of you the illnesses, diseases, meditate, provide you the solutions through that awakened product. So listen to the Shastra Pramana for the power of body scanning, which is taken from the Vijnana Bharatantra, Sutra 54. स्वदेहे जगतो वापि सूक्ष्म सूक्ष्मतराणि च तत्त्वानि यानि निलयम् ध्यात्वान्ते व्यज्यते para. The translation goes, cognizance deeply from the subtle to subtlest constitutive principles of your whole body, Swadeha, or of the whole universe, simultaneous reality. They have been absorbed in the source cause Paramashiva. With the experience of such awareness, one becomes complete from all thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Paradevi, Adishakti, is revealed and the supreme power manifestation happens. The next is the Apta Pramana, where this Apta Pramana is taken from the very own life of a Siddha named Teraya. Teraya was a Siddha and one of the most prominent disciples of sage Agastya. One day, a man suffering from severe headache comes to Agastya for healing. Agatha uses the power of body scanning and identifies the root cause of the headache. He reveals there's a small tip of terror, a type of rock, which is sitting in the person's brain. Agatha immediately instructs Theria, his disciple, to perform an open surgery and remove the frog. After surgery is completed successfully, the person is healed and cured of the headache, and thus the disciple gained the name Theria. And next is the Atma Pramana, where Swamiji uses this power of body scanning in his very own life when he had the multiple compound hand fracture. He was forced to go for surgery and therefore medical checkup to the people. At that time, they detected heavy metal quantity in his different organs. It was revealed that I had been poisoned with an unknown. Swamiji immediately used diagnostic method instead of medical facilities to study the body condition due to the poisoning. Through the power of body scanning, Swamiji found out what the problems, imbalances had happened and why the balance has to be there. He used allopathy as a second opinion to verify his findings. And last is the Sakshya Pramana, where various disciples who've been initiated in this power of body scanning have been manifesting this power in their day-to-day life and could see a tremendous transformation in that life after manifesting the power of body scanning. And let us now witness a live demonstration done by Nithyananda yogis and the Basins of Nithyananda Gurukul of the power of body scanning after a short break. I will be right back in a few minutes. Yes, so I'm back with the Nityan Yogis and the Balsins of Nityan Gurukul. Now request the Nityan Yogis to introduce themselves.
Nithyananda. My name is Ma Paramapriyananda. Nithyananda. My name is Manika Jeshananda. Nithyananda. My name is Manika Jeshananda.
So today all three of them will be demonstrating the power of body scanning for all of you. So now I request the comment section to be projected. Yes. So Kailasa's Bhaja with nature has requesting a body scanning. Thank you. Yes, so Ma Vijesha will be doing body scanning for you. And Vikrant Wag has posted, can you please remove disturbing thoughts from my mind and heal my insomnia? Yes, so Ma Parvapriya will be doing for you, Aya. I request the comments section to be scrolled a bit. Okay, so meanwhile, both the Nityan Yogis do the body scanning for the participants. I'd like to ask a question to Majesha. So Majesha, how do you feel like when you do this power of body scan?
First of all, manifesting powers are really amazing. It's something unheard of.
Yeah.
Like you all might have, you all know.
Like it's just shown in the movies, yeah.
Yeah. So it's something that only superhumans or heroes possess, but we being in movies also have these powers. And it's really amazing to have these powers. It's about how reviving Hinduism back, how ancient people, ancient Hinduism, how people lived in that kind of an enlightened ecosystem where they were self-sufficient in all aspects, from their lifestyle and manifesting powers, and they just had it all, right? Yeah. So reviving that back is another great thing, and at the same time, Swamiji initiating millions across the globe to manifest his powers is also another great thing. So yes, it's
Ma Meenakshi has commented, Nityananda Ma, can you please scan my eyesight and tell me what can I do to improve? Yes, so Ma Meenakshi, Majesha will do the body scan for you. If the Nityan Yogis are ready, they can go ahead and share.
Nityananda, I was doing a body scan for Vikrant Bhag. Aya, this is for you. Swamiji revealed through the third eye that all your disturbing thoughts are only because you have a lot of time with you, and that is why these thoughts are coming. If you are passionate and involved in some work, especially Swamiji's work, if you are involved in any other work, you will obviously have the thoughts related to that work. But if you are completely involved in Swamiji's work, some project from that is meant for Kailasa, that is to build an ecosystem or something like that, then not only will your thoughts come down, but you will be completely healed from all the mind problems. Your dreams, your insomnia, your feeling of anxiety, all of these will come down drastically, and you will not even remember that you have these if you are able to take on Swamiji's work. That is the blessing Swamiji has given you through the third area.
Yes. Yes, Mahaviji, would you like to go ahead?
I did the body scan for Kailasha's Bhaja with major. This is what Paramashivoham revealed to me today. Number one, there is a lot of instability and indecisiveness in the way you are functioning in life. And I see a lot of strain that is happening with the shoulder, the neck, and the back region. And Paramashivoham gave this as a solution. He said that you have to spend time in grounding yourself with Mother Nature. Spending time outside will really give that completion, to give that stability within you, and also to start with being a little bit more physical and being a little bit more active in what you're doing, because I see a little bit of unwanted fat that is getting stored in your body, and just with this you'll be able to become more stable in life and be able to manifest everything that you want.
Majesha, you can go ahead.
So I did the body scanning for Ma Meenakshi, and Ma, what Paramashivoham revealed to my third eye is that why you have eyesight problems, because your eye nerves or veins are stressed. They are actually strained. So that's why whenever you have to put more effort in looking at something just near to you, right? It's always a little blurry because it's naturally strained and stressed, and you are also having glasses. So what Parameshwara revealed is that first of all, you need to cool down that stress in your eyes. So doing wet cloth is recommended now. You have to wet a normal cotton cloth and you have to put it on your eyes for 20 minutes, and you have to do this every day to cool down your eyes, because it's always stressed. The veins are always stressed. That's why you're having these eyesight problems. You're not able to see properly near or far. You're always having this issue. And another thing Parameshwara revealed is that you can also start putting these eye drops called Elanir Kolambu. It is actually an Ayurvedic eye drops. It's called Elanir Kolambu. You can actually talk to your physician or whoever, your family doctor or any personal doctor you have, and you can start with that. That is something that naturally cools down your eye, at the same time gives you clarity to the vision. So this is what Parameshwara means.
And also for eyeglasses, which one especially like you're saying you're not able to breathe long. Parameshwara revealed that there's a lot of difficulty in the bones. I think they're not being deflated properly. So make sure to take castor oil, apply it from one end to the other, and in wet a cloth in warm water, and apply and place it from one side to the other. And do this every day for 21 days, and you will see that your hip bones will become completely normal, and you'll be able to start moving longer walks.
Yes, wonderful. So, due to interest of time, we won't be attending to some of the YouTube comments over here. And with this, I would like to conclude this segment of the Parashakti's Akashic reading, where you have witnessed and how the powers of Paramashiva being manifested. And do not worry, at the end of this program, you will be manifesting this same extraordinary powers of Paramashiva by yourself to others. So stay tuned for that. And with this, I would like to move on to the next segment, where you'll be learning on who is the Parashakti and what are her various qualities. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Nithyananda, everyone. Thank you, Mahavira. So that was a wonderful demonstration of the powers of third eye that all of us just witnessed. So let us now get into the next segment of this program, where all of us will be learning more about Devi Parashakti, and we will be learning how the world is today and the way forward, and how Devi Parashakti is taking care of us during this prayer. So per day, an additional 0.002% of the population is getting infected by COVID-19. And the facts are the total confirmed COVID-19 cases is 233 million, which is 3% of the world as of 554 CES on the 1st of October 2021, including 4 million confirmed cases. And Healthline.com states that new COVID-19 cases have risen to more than 150,000 per day in the United States, and an average population increase per day is 174,000 per day. So the rate of those getting infected is almost an on average rate of population. And the total confirmed COVID-19 cases is 3% of the population and is rising daily at all times. Vaccination not being known as a solution or available at any timeline for the world. And an average death per day is 126,500 at 0.562% of the world. And average deaths per day per year is 44 million and it's growing each year. So if we say just for our understanding the population growth per day and death rate are moving at the same time, we are looking at human civilization to decline in the next 3 generations.
And the situation needs a global solution that works across all national policies, as we have seen the pandemic affecting literally every country across the globe, whether you're in the Americas, Africa, Western Pacific, Southeast Asia, or anywhere in the world. So we need a global solution that works for everyone.
And according to the United Nations, a new scientific report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change warns that we are on a crash course towards catastrophe if global temperatures are allowed to rise. The window to slow or even halt some of these worsening impacts is rapidly closing. And a few immediate precautionary methods that all of us need to take is to protecting ourselves by being in quarantine. Follow the local government's guidelines, and regulations. But even if this happens, the effect on our survival needs like food, clothes, shelter, especially the less privileged whom we call poor, for whom resources are not immediately available, is unknown. So what is the karma that caused COVID-19? In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, 4th Adhyaya, 4th Brahmana, the 5th mantra, it defines karma as Yatakari yatachari tata bhavati sadhukari sadhu bhavati papakari papi bhavati punya punyena karmana bhavati papa papena. And the translation for this verse is as it does it and acts. So it becomes by doing good, it becomes good, and by doing evil, it becomes evil. It becomes virtuous to good and acts, and vicious to evil acts.
And it is our greed that has made our greed to make life comfortable and luxurious that has caused so much of damage to the environment and our ecosystems. 83% of wild mammals have become extinct due to human civilization since the rise of human civilization. 80% of marine mammals have become extinct. 50% of all plant life and 15% of fish have become extinct due to the rise of human civilization. And stopping the idea that the whole planet Earth belongs to only the human race will only save us.
And we have forgotten that we share the world with others. So let us now set a trend of moving to a nature-based lifestyle. Let us stop torturing and killing animals. Let us drop the idea that planet Earth is exclusively for us.
And so much natural resources are used for creating meat-based products such as beef, sheep, pork, and around 15,000 liters of water, fresh water, is needed to create 1 kg of beef in Australia, in comparison to plant-based foods like lentils, which would require less than 5,000 liters of water to create 1 kg of food. And you can see the drain on natural resources that meat and meat-based products consume. Let us stop this karma. When you kill animals, when you keep the livestock and kill animals, you not only disturb the environment, you disturb the ecosystem by reducing pain and suffering.
And as per Hinduism, the purpose of the world, the primary principle of the universe is let us all coexist and celebrate our life. Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. Non-violence is the ultimate natural law of life.
So what is the permanent solution for this pandemic? Let us stop all actions of anger, lust, greed, pride, jealousy, and delusion. Let us move back to the Hindu lifestyle, the Hindu way of living, the lifestyle of apigraha, asteya, ahimsa, and the lifestyle of non-stealing, living with non-violence.
And every crisis that you find solutions. Hinduism is a religion which has seen at least 5 complete wipeouts of the planet Earth and the wiping out of the civilization. Knowledge, and we have recorded and documented every time that the civilization was wiped out and how we have rebuilt it.
Bhagavan Vishnu incarnated to bring the Vedas and Agamas back from the. So here are some of the examples of when in history, when the civilization declined and was destroyed, and there was the incarnation brought that civilization back and revived that civilization. The first example is when Bhagavan Vishnu incarnated to bring the Vedas and the Agamas back from the dark energy during the manifestation of the universe in the form of the fish, the Matsyavatara, and landed on planet Earth to give it to Lord Brahma. After the great deluge, Bhagavan Vishnu brought Manu's boat, the Vedagamas, the whole thing, and restarted the civilization. That is why the Pandya kingdom, the earliest kingdom, has a fish as their emblem. The Karaikal is the place where the boat was brought to land by the Matsyavatara. From there, the whole Pandya civilization started. And during King Ravana's reign, 7 core people were living under his iron rule. And Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra Prabhu incarnated to save the 54 Deshas from the evil reign of the king. This is detailed in the Ramayana. And King Duryodhana almost led the entire world to nuclear collapse. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna incarnated to end this apocalypse. And this is detailed in the epic poem, the Mahabharata. And Bhagavan Mahadeva himself protected the sacred city of Varanasi. He promised, I will hold these people, protect them, even during the pralaya, even when the whole world is destroyed during the great deluge. I'll hold everyone in the tip of my trishula.
And in the Upanishads, the rishis celebrate the half-moon incarnations who come down to liberate people from crisis. So in the Taittiriya Upanishad, chapter 3, Bhrigavali, section 10, the rishis sing and dance in the ecstasy of the enlightenment and Kundalini awakening. And they chant, Havu, 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 Ahamannam, 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 Ahamannado, Ahamannado, Ahamannadaha.
And the ultimate conscious happens again and again as Acharya, as Guru, as incarnate. And Paramashiva reaching out to liberate the individual soul bonded to knowledge is Acharya. Paramashiva reaching out to individual souls to liberate them from bondages through initiation is through Shakti Bada and Shaktini Bada is Guru. And Paramashiva reaching out to the individual souls to their karmas, altering, changing it, even deleting it, completing it, and changing happenings of the past, present, future is Leela. And the manifestation who do these Leelas are.
And in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna also promises, Yada yada hi dharmasya glane bhavati bharata, abhyutanam dharmasya tadatmam, which means whenever there is a decline in individual consciousness, the collective unconsciousness increases. To establish the righteousness of the eternal consciousness, the science of eternal bliss, Dharma samstapanarthaya, I myself appear, millennium after millennium, sambhavami. Yes, and now with that, let us now learn more about the form of Devi that all of us are celebrating today on the seventh day of Navratri. So we are celebrating the form Lakshmi, Devi Mahalakshmi. So let us learn more about this form of Devi Parashakti. So in the Devi Mahatmya chapter 12, verse 13, there's a verse, the verse says, Sarvabada vinirmukto dhanadanya samanvitaha manushyo madprasadena bhavishyati na samshayaha. And the translation is, Mata says that man will be free from all barriers with my offerings and will be full of money, grain, and children. There's no doubt in this.
Lakshmi stands for wealth, beauty, grace, and other similar qualities.
So there's a small story from the great epic Mahabharata. So there was once a king by the name of Yayati, and he lived for 100 years, enjoying his kingdom and all the physical and mental comforts of life. At the end of 100 years, Yama, the god of death, came to take him as it was time for him to leave the earth. The king was shocked to see Yama and started saying, Why have you come so fast, and that too suddenly without any notice? I have not lived my life fully yet. Please give me some more time to live.
You can move to the next slide, please. Yama replied that there is no extension possible to life. Yet Yayati pleaded with him and begged for more time. Yama finally conceded that if any of his sons were ready to give up his life for Yayati, then the king could live for that much more time. A pleased Yayati called out for one of his sons and asked him to give him some time of his life. The son gave up the remainder of his life and died instantly. Yayati got another 100 years to live.
And he continued to enjoy all the material comforts in the same way as before, and he lived another 100 years. At the end of which Yama returned to take him. This time also Yeti felt he had hardly lived and begged Yama, saying that he was not prepared and wanted some more time. Yama gave him another chance. Another of Yeti's sons gave up his life for his father, and Yeti got a lease of another 100 years of life.
Now, after Yayati enjoyed the next 100 years, Yama came back to take him. This time also Yayati asked for more time, but Yama refused to play the same game again. This time Yama instead gave Yayati a beautiful teaching in just a few words. Can you put a fire out by pouring oil into it?
So the Mahabharata says that Yayati at the moment experienced Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, in his being. He finally realized the truth and rested at the feet of the divine.
This is a small but wonderful story that we need to understand the underlying meaning of. Lakshmi is not the quantity of life, she is the quality of life.
Most of us think that having Lakshmi in life means having lots of possessions like cars, house, good bank balance, etc. Masters, however, interpret Lakshmi in a totally different way. They say that Lakshmi is actually the quality of your life, your mind, and not the quantity of or number of things you have.
The story about the origin of Lakshmi is also representative of this fact. When the ocean of milk was turned by the devas, the demigods, and the rakshasas, the demons, Using the Meru mountain from deep inside the ocean, Lakshmi emerged. This is actually a metaphorical representation. When the milk ocean of the mind is turned by the mountain of pure awareness, it raises the quality of your life in the form of Lakshmi.
And most of us think that our minds are very logical. Actually, the mind is the most illogical. Just try this experiment. Sit down for 5 minutes, write down all your thoughts and come to your mind in these 5 minutes, honestly, without editing. Then read what you have written and you will realize how illogical you are. We are running a mental asylum inside our heads. One moment you would have been thinking about your workplace. Then for no reason you will find yourself thinking about the house. The next moment, without realizing it really, you would be thinking of your kids.
When you analyze clearly what is right and what is wrong, what is eternal and what is not, from the analysis, intelligence will arise. Your quality of life will increase. This feeling of fulfillment is what Lakshmi is.
And when you run with all your energy, you forget to enjoy, you forget to live, you forget to have Lakshmi in your life again. It is the quantity that is important.
Your attitude decides your life. With the right attitude, you are showered with more and more things. There is a beautiful shloka in the Puranas which says, Ananda, bliss attracts fortune. There is one more saying, where there is bliss, Lakshmi walks in naturally.
And in the Vedic tradition, we have two kinds of wealth, Kubera's wealth and Lakshmi's wealth. Kubera's wealth means he will accumulate and hold. Neither he will enjoy nor somebody else can enjoy. The Lakshmi's wealth means she will be constantly circulating, giving, and giving.
And the very word Lakshmi in Sanskrit means increasing the TQ. When you increase the TQ with the same house, you will feel more comfortable. With the same furniture, you feel more luxurious. With the same people, you feel blissful. With the same situations, you feel joyful. Actually, Lakshmi is added when you increase the TQ of of course, because of your right decision making, wealth will also be added. The moment TQ becomes big, your car becomes big, your bungalow becomes big, your life becomes big, everything becomes big because of your decision making power, because of your clarity. That's true. Apart from that, your being, your Lakshmitva, the quality of being Lakshmi, the capacity to enjoy the energy of the wealth consciousness will just increase. Increasing the TQ is what I call creating affluence.
And Yaksha means who possesses wealth, but neither enjoys nor let others enjoy. Lakshmi means who keeps currency moving, who enjoys and lets others enjoy.
Lakshmi's wealth means you will not bother to spend because you have the courage and confidence about your intelligence to create more wealth. So allow it to flow through you.
And feeling insecurity is the wealth of Kubera. Feeling secured to enjoying wealth is life of Lakshmi.
Lakshmi is an energy field like a satellite. Ganesha is an energy field like a satellite. If you tune your brain to that satellite, you can receive their energy and blessings. When you stop hating work, when you stop hating planning, suddenly you will see Lakshmi as a blessing to you. You are working only for $1 million, but suddenly opportunities will come, which will shower you $1 billion. I'm not teaching you the positive thinking theories. I am stating the facts.
And the power of thinking is Lakshmi. In one moment, you can make anything look like God. Within the next moment, you can make anything look like a demon in your life. Please understand, if you bow down, even a small stone can become a God. If you are afraid of even God, if you are afraid of even if you are afraid, even God will look like a devil.
Self-drive is Lakshmi. Self-drive is the ultimate wealth, ultimate asset anyone can accumulate, that anyone can acquire.
And thoughts by themselves are like Lakshmi wealth. With the right way of applying it, you can just manifest wealth without manipulating.
Adi Shakti is worshipped by Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mahadevi, who are not the wives of Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. No, when who is feminine? Who is feminine source of Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra?
Abundance should be making you more active. Only then it is Sri Devi, it is Lakshmi, it is wealth. Abundance is activism. Responsible activism is abundance.
Ferociousness with your body is Durga. Ferociousness with your words is Saraswati. And ferociousness with your mind is Lakshmi.
So now let us see Devi Parashakti's divine play, or Leela from the Devi Mahatmya to the Chandra Sutra in the Devi Mahatmya.
In the Devi Mahatmya, various aspects of the human mind are depicted as demons, which come to war with Devi Parashakti's representation. When the demon Durmalochana, brute force fails, Shumba loses all reason and sends Chanda and Munda with a huge army to bring back that vile woman in any way or in any condition whatsoever.
Understand how in Shumba's agitated mind the jewel among women is now that violent. What was once so desirable is now the cause of his misery, and his desire now is only for the trump of his own will. Don't we also overreact irrationally when circumstances frustrate our intentions?
The struggle escalates and the gently smiling Devi Durga calls forth the terrifying emaciated form of Kali and 8 other fierce goddesses to combat the demon hordes. Each one of these Shaktis is an aspect of her own immense power. Each represents a higher function of our own consciousness.
And in the 13th, 14th, and 15th verses it says, and she caught with her mouth the weapons and the great arms shot by those asuras and crunched them up with her teeth and her fury. She destroyed all the hosts of the mighty and evil-natured asuras, devoured some and battered others. Some were killed with her words, some were beaten with her skull-topped staff, and other asuras met their death, being ground with the edge of her teeth.
Seeing the most valiant Chanda and Munda laid low the remaining army there because seeing the most valiant Chanda and Munda laid low, the remaining army there became panicky and fled in all directions. And Kali, holding the heads of Chanda and Munda in her hands, approached Chandika and said, her words mingled with very loud laughter, here, I have brought you the heads of Chanda and Munda as 2 great animal offerings in the sacrifice of battle. Shumba and Nishumba, you shall yourself slay. The Rishi continued on.
Thereupon, seeing those asuras Chanda and Munda brought to her, the auspicious Chandika said to Kali these playful words, because you have brought me both Chanda and Munda, O you Devi, shall be famed in the world by the name Chamundu. Here ends the 7th chapter called The Slaying of Chanda and Munda of Devi Mahatmya and Markandeya Purana during the period of Savarni, the Manu.
So this story from the Devi Mahatmya describes and reflects the demons in our own lives, the demons in the Chanda and Munda and Shumba and Nishumba represents the demons in our own lives. And this century, most of us are operating out of anger and rage under such a delusion that we start hurting those that we desire.
And most of the decisions that we make every moment, we make unconsciously. We take thousands of decisions unconsciously in a day, whether it is thinking or talking or doing. It is done unconsciously without awareness.
That is the reason we are not able to connect the cause and the effect of many things that happen in our lives. We always think we have been dished out unfair results. We are blissfully unaware that it was we who caused these effects by way of unconscious living and ended up incurring this karma.
So there is a way to again and again remind ourselves not to collect karma and to live without the influence of earlier incurred karma. The first step is to have a clear understanding that karma is powerless in the presence of an incarnation.
Devi Parashakti has happened just to liberate us from this karma. Somewhere this karma chakra needs to be broken, and you need to be given a new energy, inspiration, understanding, and possibility. If you are always stuck with this action-result cycle, you will never be given a chance to taste the possibility. The taste of possibility can be given to you only when the divine intervention happens. Mahadeva intervenes in your life in the form of Guru. He assumes the form of the Guru just to liberate people from the karma chakra, give inspiration, joy, bliss, and cause miracles and enlightenment.
So initiation means the ideas and knowledge or the clicks that brings you out of these depressive thoughts that bring you out of the influence of your karma.
So now let us understand the supreme concept of Nithyananda Paramashivam as the Nijavatara of Parashakti herself.
So the Kailasan of the Shyamala Peetham Zar and sacred lineage of pontiffs has been systematically carried over with an unbroken progression from ages. The chosen emissaries of Bhagavan Paramashiva and Devi, who are the Guru Mahasannidhanams of Kailasan of the Shyamala Peetham, are the direct representatives of the cosmos.
On the 27th of April 2012, Srila Shri Nithyananda Sambandha Deshika Paramachari formally appointed as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kailasana of the Shyamala Peetham Saptami and is the lawful successor, descendant, and inheritor invested with all the powers, duties, obligations to perform the rituals, spiritual, religious, and customary rites vested in the Kailasana of the Shyamala Peetham Saptami and has been reviving its spiritual, religious, and linguistic epicenters to their original authority. So now let's watch a short history of the Kailasana of the Shyamala Peetham Saptami, the Madurai Adinam, which was revived by Devi Meenakshi and Bhagavan Sundareshwara.
The ancient temple town of Madurai in southern India boasts of a 2,500-year-old history of spirituality. Historians trace Madurai's existence back to the 3rd century BC, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities of the world. Legend says that Madurai was established by the cosmic mother herself, who incarnated as Princess Meenakshi, daughter of the pious king Malayadwaja Pandian. An able queen and a fearless warrior, Meenakshi expanded her empire right up to Kailash in current China. But when she came face to face with the Lord of Kailash, Shiva himself, she recognized him as her eternal consort and dropped her arms to become Shiva's companion for life.
Along with Shiva, also known as Sundareshwara or the beautiful Lord, Meenakshi reigned over her kingdom for a glorious 166 years.
In course of time, with the rise of Jainism as a religious force, Madurai too fell to its powerful influence and Shaivism all but vanished from the sacred kingdom where Shiva himself had once walked the earth. The renaissance of Shaivism in Madurai was the sacred task of a child incarnation, Tirunjana Sambandar, one of the four visionary saints of Shaiva Siddhanta tradition. The story goes that as a baby, Tirunjana Sambandar was once nourished by the milk of enlightenment from the cosmic mother herself. This child prodigy arrived in Madurai to effortlessly defeat the learned Jain monks with his wisdom, healing powers, and spiritual prowess, and restored Madurai to her beloved religion, Shaivism, by reviving the ancient Madurai Adinam and the Meenakshi temple, which had fallen to desolate ruin. Madurai Adinam is today the world's oldest living Hindu organization, with a recorded history alone spanning a glorious 1,500 years and an unbroken lineage of illustrious pontiffs to this very day. Over the centuries, Madurai Adinam has been patronized by the likes of Tipu Sultan, Robert Nobili, and the poet saint Vallalar. The pontiff of the Madurai Adinam is known by the title Guru Mahasannidhanam and inherits the responsibility of carrying forward the traditions of Tirunjana Sambandar's sacred work.
On 27th April 2012, a new era began in the history of Madurai Adinam. The 292nd Pontiff, Srila Sri Arunagirinatha Jnana Sambandha Desika Paramacharya Swamigal, guided by intuition and inducement by Lord Shiva, coronated a charismatic young saint as the 293rd Pontiff of the Madurai Adinam.
An accomplished yogi, a pragmatic social visionary, and an adept in mystical sciences, His Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda is revered as a divine incarnation by millions worldwide. Within weeks of his ascent to the sacred throne, he brought about sweeping changes to the Adinam, including the renovation of the ancient monastery, Annadan, free food for thousands every day, free medical camps, yoga classes, scriptural study, spiritual healing, and meditation programs. The traditional Adinam now has a website, and thousands participate in the morning worship via live streaming and two-way video conferencing. Vast properties belonging to the Adinam are being reclaimed from illegal encroachment. Its numerous temples are being restored to sanctity, and the neighboring villages are being adopted, with basic amenities, education, and medical care being provided for all. His Holiness dreams of an authentic Vedic Renaissance, for which India has already waited too long.
Here, I take the commitment making Madurai Adinam as an international religious organization. We will fulfill all the responsibilities of Madurai Adinam, make Hindu tradition, Saiva tradition alive, revived, lived, celebrated all over the world.
With a brand new pontiff at its helm, Madurai Adinam promises to be more than just another traditional monastery. As a whole generation turns to spirituality for answers, the changes at Madurai Adinam mirror the changing role of spiritual organizations today as power centers and guiding forces, forging the enlightened government of the new world.
So yes, that was a beautiful video on the history of Madurai Adinam. So let us now see many more things that the Supreme Point of Hinduism has contributed to the world. So the 292nd Pontiff of Madurai Adinam, Sri Arunagiri Nithyananda Paramashivam Swami, is the predecessor to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the esteemed Guru-based tradition of the kingdom of Kailasanath Dwadashanta Shyamala the Sarvapeetam, the Madurai Adinam since 2012. And in the 292nd Guru Mahasanidhanam had actually had the divine vision of Lord Shiva and Devi Meenakshi, who both instructed him to coronate the avatar as his successor, the 293rd Guru Mahasanidhanam. And the historic record of Madurai Adinam introduces the successor as the Supreme Point of Hinduism. And on YouTube, a video is also available of the 292nd Guru Mahasanidhanam, who has spoken about the 293rd Guru Mahasanidhanam, the Supreme Point of Hinduism.
And here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being coronated as the 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam of the Kailasanath Shyamala Sarvapeetam.
And here you can see as the Supreme Point of Hinduism being coronated as the Guru Mahasanidhanam of the Kailasanath Shyamala Sarvapeetam, the Madurai Adinam. He is visiting various other temples.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also been declared as the successor of the Arunachala Pita Sarvindya Pita by his Guru Parampara at the mere age of 16 on the 24th of May 1994. And in this lineage is Yogananda Puri, Istaki Swamigal, Mata Vibhudananda Puri, and of course Swami.
And the Supreme Point of Hinduism founded the mission of Nithyananda Sangha to revive Kailasa internationally at the age of 21 in 1999.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the Adi Kailasha Sarvapeetam at the age of 24 on the 4th of November 2002.
And the Supreme Point of Hinduism was declared as the successor of Bhagyanagara Sri Prasadanapeetam at the age of 26 on the 1st of January 2004.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamshi Sarangi Samrajyam in the Suryavamshi lineage at the age of 26 on the 31st of December 2004.
And the Supreme Point of Hinduism is the reviver of the Adi Pallava Sarvajnapeetam at the age of 29 in 2007.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been coronated as the successor of the Kashi Sarvajnapeeta at the age of 30 in 2008.
And the Supreme Point of Hinduism was officially coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akara, the largest apex monastic order. And he was coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar at the age of 35 and is the youngest Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akara.
And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has been declared as the Acharya Mahamandaleshwara Vyatilakada, the oldest monastic order in Hinduism, by the Acharya Mahamandaleshwara Devanandaji, and then the then incumbent emperor or spiritual head at the age of 35.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism has been coordinated as the Guru Mahasanidhanam of the Tanjavur Adinam at the age of 36 in 2014.
And Supreme Concept of Hinduism has been coronated as the Guru Mahasanidhanam of the Tirupavur Adinam at the age of 36 in 2014.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism has been coordinated as the Guru Mahasanidhanam at the age of 36 in 2014.
And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has been coronated as the Guru Mahasanidhanam of the Dharma Mukti Sparigapura Adinam at the age of 37.
And he was also coordinated as the Guru Mahasanidhanam of the Adipita Koladamata at the age of 37 in 2015.
The Supreme Concept of Hinduism has been elected as the Supreme Concept of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu pontiffs leaders at the age of 36. You can see the Supreme Concept of Hinduism being coronated as the Supreme Concept of these photos.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism is revered as the most prolific and most viewed guru in the digital world, and he is read and watched by 1 million plus followers in Hinduism.
And Kailasa is the world's greatest digital Hindu nation with over 1 billion views. And you can connect on various platforms via Facebook, Instagram, and many more.
And for 26 years of relentless humanitarian services have been contributed by the Supreme Court of Hinduism to the world. And these initiatives include free vegetarian food banks, medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, conflict resolution and peace initiatives, and also sustainable Hindu practices through various international agencies and bodies.
And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has authored over 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, which have been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. And here you can see just a few of them in English, French,
Here you can see Tamil and Spanish as well. And over 20 million copies of books and articles have been sold, read, and downloaded by millions around the world.
The Supreme Concept of Hinduism has established the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million Palmolian scriptures, and over 20 million digital books.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism has given over 10,000 hours of discourses with over 1 billion views on social media.
And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is respected as the commentator of all sacred scriptures such as the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Shiva Sutras, the Yoga Sutras, the Ashtavakra Gita, the Jain Sutras, and many more.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism has been honored as leader of Hinduism, the most awarded internationally recognized Hindu leader.
And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential personalities, living personalities by Watkins Mind, Body, Spirit magazine.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism is the reviver of the sovereign order of Kailasa led by the Supreme Court of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and the Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and the Hindu diaspora are working for global peace and to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity.
And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is the establisher of the largest Hindu library in the world with satellite campuses in over 150 countries.
And He is also the establisher of 1,000+ Kailas and enlightenment ecosystems.
And is the Supreme Pontiff of Buddhism is the founder and reviver of over 107 Vedas.
And various heads of many akhadas and mats have recognized Supreme Pontiff of Buddhism as a divine being and as an incarnation of Paramashiva. And the late Mahant Narendra Viji Maharaj, the president of the largest apex body of Hinduism, the Akhila Bharatiya Akada Parishad, the group of 13 akhadas and over 2 crore sadhus monks in India, welcomes the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasatyananda Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, as one day the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, Swamiji, is going to be called the Vishwa Guru, the Guru of the whole world. He is going to be the spiritual guide for the world, and peace will spread in the whole world. People are not yet aware of the energy of Swamiji in reality. Swamiji is the Swarupa, the form of Bhagavan, God, and we are offering prayers not just to Guru, but to an embodiment of Bhagavan. I am sure that Swamiji must have done intense penance, tapas in his childhood, and merged into God, as a result of which he is expressing his divine power to God.
And Shri Shantavir's Mahaswami is the head of the Kolada Mutt, the oldest recorded mutt in Karnataka, dating back more than 6,500 years. And he declared with his authority, whenever humanity falls into suffering and pain, Ishvar, the divine himself, does austerity, tapas, for their upliftment. Ishvar is the embodiment of the divine light. Nithyanandaji Maharaj is seated as the embodied divine light, spreading world peace and serving the whole of humanity. From India, Nithyanandaji is a treasure house of jnana, the sacred knowledge.
And just like this, various heads of akhadas and mats have spoken about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So now let us see in this next segment how Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has happened as the Guru.
Yes. Now, let's understand. So, now that you understand the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, a short biography, now that Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam happening as Guru. So there is no specific reason why you act the way you act. There is only one thing we know: the moment the decision comes, such a spontaneous energy is released in you, without even millisecond, that decision is executed. It becomes an action reality. You do not act the way you act because you are habituated. Muscle memory is responsible for making the decision and executing it within a micro millisecond before even you become aware. Whenever the negative thoughts which are against the yoga, the purpose of your life happens in you, analyze, understand, take the thought to its logical conclusion, and create the opposite understanding, means the right understanding for the purpose of your life, and raise the coherence of your system to its highest possible peak. Violence is anti-yoga against yoga. When you have the thought of violence, how to bring the pratipaksha bhavana? That means get yourself back to non-violence and not to allow the violence to get rooted in you. Remembering, oh, violence will bring suffering and it will bring ignorance. I should not allow it. That is the right way of living yama and niyama. Having confidence over your understanding and executing that understanding very strongly. The word confidence means courage to live and execute the truth you intellectually grasp. Pratipaksha bhavana meaning inability to create the contrary thoughts to negativity and destroy negativity will allow negativity to grow in you. Once the negativity grabs you over, your life is hell. You are done. Literally, you are done. Whenever negativity arises in you, don't give up. Don't flow with it. Don't go with it. Again and again and again, stand up. Still, please feel confidence. Ramana Maharshi says very beautifully that Ambula Kalvara Agattinil Pugumbudu Agattinilayo Arunachala. O Lord, when my five senses entered my house to rob me, where were you? Were you not in my inner space? So, when the negativity enters to rob you, immediately bring the security, the right understanding, right attitude against the negativity. Timing is very important. Timing immediately responding to your negativity. Catch the thief in right moment. The fear is nothing but the projection of negativity on the future possibility. It is not necessary you need to continuously project negativity or positivity on the future possibility. Simply seeing the future possibility without projecting negativity or positivity onto it is living prarabdha. The Zen masters say, even what you think is wrong, if it is done by a wise man, an enlightened being, accept it, it is good for you. The science gifted to humanity, this science gifted to humanity by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on 17th December 2020.
Coherence. You'll be surprised
Today's sutra is the longest sutra in the whole Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Patanjali never utters more than 5 or 6 words in one sutra, maximum 5 or 6. Sometimes just 2 words, one sutra. Even there is one sutra, only 1 word. Here, he gives a full, long 2 line. Can say almost with 21 words. Then understand the importance Patanjali is trying to give for this technique. I'll read the sutra and try to express the truth expressed in this sutra, embedded in this sutra. This is the 85th sutra of Patanjali in chapter 2, 34th verse. Vidarkaha himsaha adayaha krita karita anumodita lopa krodha moha purvaka mrutu madhya adimatra dukkha ajnana ananta phala idi pratipaksha bhavanam. Yesterday Patanjali gave us a technique how to create the contrary thoughts and establish yourself in the right yama and niyama, in the highest coherence. Now he is expanding on that same, giving an example, because he doesn't want people to misunderstand. Understand? This sutra can be very easily misunderstood. So he is giving us an example so that we don't misunderstand. We don't miss it, because just missing this one sutra, you may miss the whole spiritual practice. You need to have confidence over your understanding. Vivekananda translates this sutra as, the obstructions to yoga are killing, falsehood, and so forth, whether committed, caused, or approved, either to avarice, or anger, or ignorance, whether slight, middling, or great, they result in infinite ignorance and misery. This is the method of thinking the contrary. He is giving us the technique. Swami Prabhavananda translates as, the obstacles to yoga, such as acts of violence and untruth, may be directly created or indirectly caused or approved. They may be motivated by greed, anger, or self-interest. They may be small or moderate or great, but they never cease to result in pain and ignorance. One should overcome distracting thoughts by remembering this. Swami Sachidananda translates as, when negative thoughts or acts such as violence are caused to be done or even approved of, whether incited by greed, anger, or infatuation, whether indulged in with mild, medium, or extreme intensity, they are based on ignorance and bring certain pain. Reflecting thus is also pratipaksha bhavanam. Each translation, if you see, they are actually completely from different angle. This is the greatness of Vedic tradition. We give freedom. to interpret as per the understanding of an acharya. One funny thing, if you see, Swami Vivekananda translates this sutra in certain way. Swami Prabhupada's disciple of Vivekananda, who belongs to Vivekananda Sampradaya, he translates this completely different way and has courage and guts to publish it, and people respect it. That is the amount of freedom we have. Understand? You can refute, alter, amend your guru's words. Vivekananda translates this as one way. Swami Prabhupada belongs to the Ramakrishna order. Maybe after, I don't know, maybe 50 years of Vivekananda, he comes up with a new translation, sometime little slightly altered or even contrary. The greatness is, his translation is also accepted. In the same order publication publishes both books. That's the greatness of our tradition. Freedom of thinking, freedom of understanding, and freedom to raise the understanding to the next level. I'll try to express as I experienced this sutra. Vidarka himsadaya krita karitanumodita lopa krodha moga purvaka mrutu madhyadi matra dukkha jnananta phala iti pratipaksha bhavanam. I'll tell you exactly how Raghupati Yogi, now I can remember the whole slide as it is, how Raghupati Yogi taught me this sutra. In Arunachaleshwara temple, place called Krittigai Mandapam, that was the stone mantapa where he used to teach me the yoga and yoga sutra. He was sitting on a wooden plank. I was sitting on some 4 or 5 pillows because he was trying to make me levitate. That's the way he will do. He will put some 4 or 5 pillows on bed and I have to sit on that and I will have to continuously do the pranayam. Once I intensely do the pranayam and stabilize, do the kumbhaka, he will remove the pillows one by one. Then I have to be in the air. That is the way he will teach the levitation. If I am getting down, when he removes the pillow, then he will stop and ask me to do more pranayama and kumbhaka. And then after he removes all the pillows, if I am stable in the air, then he will get his pet dog to sit under me. That fellow will be sitting under me, so I will have to be holding on to that air. I cannot release. I will have to completely lock the kumbhaka. Because if I release, I will fall on the ground and I will fall on that fellow and that fellow will bite me. So I will have to be just holding on. Or even if I land, I have to land in a very slow way. Very slowly, in a very subtle way, I have to release the air. Not even through the nose. I have to release the air through the kurma nadi. Means such sensitive prana. Through the middle fingers, I have to release the air. Only then you can land very smoothly. If you release the air through the nostril itself, you will just fall. Because nostril is a too big hole. So that has to be locked. The releasing has to happen through the kurma nadi. Means subtle prana. Actually, when it is released, it is not called prana. It is called apana. The air which leaves your system, other than the nostril holes, is called apana. Through any part, if it leaves your system, it is apana. So, slowly I have to release and then land on the, I have to balance and land on the dog so that he doesn't bite me. So I was sitting on 4 or 5 pillows and he had an old book in which the Sanskrit sutra will be there and Tamil translation will be there. He read out the sutra. I was sitting and asked, what does it mean? And let me exactly tell you in Tamil, then I'll translate because it's a அது ஒண்ணுமில்லடா. Exactly, I'll repeat the word. ஒரு எண்ணம் வரும் பொழுது செய்யணும் அப்படின்னு தோன்றதுக்கு பதிலா இது மாத்தா வச்சா, இது மாத்துனா நமக்குள்ள என்ன நடக்கும்னு பார்த்து அந்த மாத்து எண்ணத்தை விதைக்கிறதான் பிரதிபக்ஷ பாவனம். I'll translate. When a thought comes in you, without allowing the feeling that it should be executed, if you alter and put an alternative thought, establish that in you, is called Pratipaksha Bhavana. A very simple way he finished it. I'll explain. Step by step. This is a one technique, one process which you can practice whole day. This process only can change your muscle memory. Understand? If you unclutch, practice unclutching, your mind will be transformed. If you practice yoga, your body will be transformed. So each technique transforms some part of you. This is the only technique which can transfer memory, means the part which makes the decision spontaneously to do any act and completes it before even you become aware of it. Your muscle memory is responsible for making decision, and without even micro-millisecond completing the act spontaneously before even you are aware of it. Please understand. As I was telling the other day, you do not act the way you act because you are habituated. No. You are trained. No. You have engraved memories. No. There is no specific reason why you act the way you act. There is only one thing we know. The moment the decision comes, such a spontaneous energy is released in you, without even micro-millisecond, the decision is executed. It becomes action, reality. See the funny thing. It's very funny and very difficult to understand. Grasping is such a difficult thing. So unless you understand the source of this, it's practically impossible for you to alter. Muscle memory is responsible for making the decision and executing it within micro-millisecond before even you become aware. Such dangerous thing, you see. So the muscle memory need to be attended. This is the only technique which can attend the muscle memory.
Yes, now let us do few exercises. Look into yourself and see where you close the doors for possibility. Sometimes learning a new language or learning something as swimming or cooking, or things as grooming yourself, as simple as that. Look in where you close the doors for possibility. And you can make a note of this. And the second thing that you need to do is pen down the action your muscle memory took when the negativity tried to break you. For example, just unconsciously you had food, you turned on television, went for a bath, fell asleep, scratched an old wound, went for a drive, so dangerous, went for a drink, entertained a smoke, had a long phone conversations. Look in, catch yourself. Why are you doing? What are you doing? Let's break this negativity. Just pick up one action. Just I gave you some examples. Just pick up one action and look back in that exact moment. What was going through you? What emotion were you feeling? What words were you using for yourself? For example, it won't happen now. I missed deadline. I'm done. How often do you use these words for yourself? For example, when I do not meet my expectations, look in, catch yourself. Why are you doing? What are you doing? Right then and there. Let's change the future. Complete and go beyond. Just pick up one cognition. Relive intensely the first time you worked out of this. Speak intensely to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Sit with his Atmurti and speak to him. Let the owns come out. Be free. Enrich to tell your friends that they might also be unconsciously addicted to certain habits that is stopping their possibility and impacting their health.
So now, with that, let us see the various offerings we can make to offer to Devi Durga, Devi Parashakti. Today, as we celebrate the Navaratri, we have just had the Durga Prana Pratishtapana by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself in the Adi Kailasha Nithyananda Sarvajna Pita, Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya. And as we celebrate this Navaratri and the happening of Devi Parashakti, let us see the various offerings we can make the sevas and rituals being offered to Devi Parashakti, in which we can all these rituals are performed with the utmost integrity and authenticity to the agamic injunctions, and they are performed by third eye awakened beings initiated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, and with great intensity, authenticity, and the context of celebrating Devi. These rituals are offered in the sacred space of Adi Kailash Nithyananda Paramashivam. So let us now look at these various offerings and rituals that are being celebrated as we celebrate Devi. So Devi is being celebrated in her various manifestations on each day of Navaratri. So we had the celebration of Devi as Devi Rajarajeshwari herself, and then on second day as Devi Meenakshi, as Devi Kamakshi, as Devi Annapurneshwari, as Devi Vishalakshi, and also in the manifestation of Shayana Tirukolam. And today we are celebrating Devi as manifestation of Mahalakshmi, and the Durga Prana Pratishtapana is done. We are celebrating Durga Ashtami, and also the manifestation of Devi Saraswati. So in all of her various manifestations, we celebrate this in the most traditional manner of the Bengal tradition of Shakta Agamas. So these are the various sevas and rituals that you can participate during this time.
The various offerings that you can participate are Mahaganapati Homa, Utsava Ambal Alankara Seva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's Vishesha Ambal Alankara Seva, Utsava Ambal Vishesha Shodasopachara Puja, Chandi Homa, Vishesha Dravya Homa, and with Purnahuti, Dasha Bhairava Puja, Kumari Puja, Suvasini Puja, and Durga Pratima Pratishtapana, and Durga Saptami Puja, Durga Saptami, Ashtami, and Navami Puja Arati, Devi Mahatyam Parayanam, Durga Ashtami Puja, Durga Kumari Puja, Durga Navami Puja, and Ayudha Puja, Maha Naivedya Seva on Vijay Dashami, Pada Puja on Vijay Dashami, and Tulabharam on Vijay Dashami. Utsava Venkateshwara, we are also celebrating the Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam. So you can also participate in the Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam celebration by offering Utsava Venkateshwara Alankara Seva, Utsava Venkateshwara Navakalasha Abhishekam. And let's find out the more details of these offerings.
So the Alankara Seva is offered to the various deities that we celebrate during these Navaratri and Brahmotsavam. Alankara means decoration and also that which causes the deep sense of fulfillment. Alamkara, Alamkaroti iti Alankara. So the Alankara Seva can be offered to the various deities, and this Seva is listed on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and you can sign up for any of the sevas and offerings on the website. The cost of this seva is $508.
Next is the Utsava Ambal Alankara Seva. Every day, the Utsava Murti of Parashakti is decorated in her various different manifestations. Offering of the Alankara Seva to the deity of Parashakti bestows the deep fulfillment in life, thereby taking us closer to the Guru who liberates us from the cycle of birth and death. Utsava Ambal Alankara Seva is cost is $508.
The next of the offering of the Swamiji Vishesha Ambal Alankara Seva, Murti of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in the Garbha Mandir of the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam, is various manifestations of Parashakti Offering the Alankara Seva to the deity of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism bestows the deep fulfillment in life, thereby taking us closer to the Guru who liberates us from the cycle of birth and death. And you can make this offering of the Swamiji Vishesha Ambal Alankara Seva on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And during this time of Navaratri, Devi Paramashakti herself in the Devi Mahatmyam portion of the Markandeya Purana gives this boon to all the beings. She says, Ittam yada yada badha danavoddha bhavishyati tada tada vatiryaham karishyamyari sankshayam. The translation for this verse: whenever trouble arises due to the advent of the demons, I shall incarnate and destroy the foes. So this is Devi Durga's commitment to all the beings on planet Earth. This is her commitment, Devi Paramashakti's commitment to all the beings. So as we celebrate her this Navaratri, let us see the various other sevas and rituals that you can offer and participate.
Ussava Ambal Vishesha Shodashopachara Puja. The Ussavamurti of Parashakti is decorated in her various manifestations and is worshipped with 16 offerings that are favorite to Parashakti. As part of it, a simple Samputika Archana will be offered with the 108 names of her manifestations describing her divine qualities. Samputika Karana is a unique to the Shakta Sampradaya where two mantras are merged together to offer worship. A select verse from the Devi Mahatyam will be merged with the 108 names and the Archana is done. So the Ussava Ambal Vishesha Sodashopachara Puja is $1,008 US.
The next seva is the Chandi Homa, Vishesha Dravya Homa and Purnahuti, which is offered every day of this Navaratri. And chanting of the Sanskrit mantras brings about the latent powers that exist within us. The Sanskrit mantras, when chanted by the power manifestors, the Dvijas, those who are reborn from the Shaktipada of Paramashiva, they manifest intense life-positive blessings, literally clearing the air through the fire ritual. We have to have the cosmic permission to invoke Chandika Parameshwari in the Agni and worship her while chanting the Devi Mahatmyam. The fire ritual demands the japam or incantation or chanting of Devi Mahatmyam to be repeated 10 times to bring a cosmic allowance to invoke the Chandi Devi in the Agni. So you can offer this.
In order to do oblations to Chandi Agni for the 700 verses of Devi Mahatyam, the repetition of the chanting of 700 verses should happen 10 times. This is what is known as Dashamsha. It is a powerful way to consecrate the very Vatavarana, spiritual ecosystem of the Yajnashala of the place of the fire worship. The group will be chanting 10 times the repetition of Devi Mahatyam in the Yajnashala before the sacred water pot within which Chandika Parameshwari is invoked. The veneration can bring life-positive effects to anyone who hears these sacred shlokas.
And the Savarnas, the surrounding energies, the Devatas and the Shaletis of Chandika Parameshwari are invoked in numerous water pots surrounding the Pradhana main Kalasha of Chandika Parameshwari. The Yagashala is described in the scripture to be in a 9x9 grid format, which has the Pradhana Kalasha as the central square of the Mandala grid. The Toranam represents the 4 Vedas protecting the Yagashala for negative energies to be warded off. The 4 Vedas are the most life-positive vibrations that create a protective environment. Each Veda is involved in a firewall. The Toranam is a garland of leaves from select trees prescribed by the Agamas. The occurrence of banyan, peepal, ati, and purusu in scripture is always associated with auspiciousness.
Trees grow in a particular environment. That ecosystem is not just including physical features of soil habitation, but also the very spiritual energies that exist in that particular environment. These four trees create an extremely spiritual and peaceful canopy to the beings who live under them. The leaves from these spiritual charged faces can hold positive thought currents that powerfully repel negative energies. When enhanced with the Veda mantras, they further energize the Vatavarana. So the Chandi Homa, the cost is the $5,000 US.
And the Vishesha Dravya Homa is the offering of all the Sattvika Guna foods into the Agni Kunda. The gods of Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra and Ananta are invoked within the Agni Kunda. The Agni Kunda's top is said to be the very mouth of the gods, while the pit below is the stomach of the gods. In the Vishesha Dravya Homa, various fruits, cooked rice, the coconut is offered as it represents the head of the Devata. And finally, the Annam is adorned with clothing and flower garlands and is worshipped as the embodiment of the Devata. So the Chandi Homa, the Vishesha Dravya Homa and Purnahuti rituals are performed every day of this Navaratri in the sacred kshetra of Adi Kailasha Nithyananda Sarvanya Pita at the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya, and you can make this sacred offering, this sacred ritual. You can participate in this sacred ritual by registering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And
in the Purnahuti Homa, select offerings of turmeric, kumkum, and favorite dry fruits of Devi such as almonds, raisins, cashew, etc. are offered into the Chandi Agni right before the final offerings of Purnahuti, which includes a sari, silver mangalyam, silver coins, and flower garlands for Chandika Devi. The Mangalya Sutra is the auspicious thread that is tied when a woman marries. This thread, as a medallion that symbolizes the chastity and elevates the woman as a goddess, a literal embodiment of Parashakti herself. This is the offering of silver, the highest metal that can hold and radiate energy. It is one of the rarest offerings made into the Chandi Agni, when the metal itself is consumed by the Agni and given to the cosmic energy directly.
And the various benefits of performing the Chandi Homa is described in the Devi Mahatmyam. The Devi Mahatmyam chapter 12, verses 2, 4, 5, and various other verses describe these innumerable benefits of performing the Chandi Homa. And these verses describe that it can bestow the blessings of removal of all problems, avoiding all untoward happenings in life, avoiding bad happenings, poverty, separation from beloved ones, removal of fear from enemies, robbers and kings, weapons, fire and flood, saves from all epidemic calamities and all natural calamities. And without doubt, all troubles will be removed by Devi if this Homa is done during the Navaratri. The participant will be blessed with riches, grains, and children. One becomes fearless. Enemies perish, welfare accrues, and the family rejoices. And all of these benefits are extolled in the Devi Mahatmya.
The ill effects of the bad dreams and negative influences of planets are removed. From the Devi Mahatmyam chapter 12, verse 16, planets turn favorite and results of good dreams manifest. And again, Devi Mahatmyam chapter 12, verse 17. And Devi, verse 18 says, completion manifests in between human beings. And the verse 20 meaning is, from the chapter 12, the presence of all evil spirits are driven away. And all the world pleasures that are sought manifest. And also the supreme union with the cosmic mother happens. One becomes Sivta, the enlightened.
And Devi Mahatmya further describes
Devi's grace happens bestowing the below from the.
Yes, Devi Mahatmya describes that Devi's grace bestows the below boons and blessings. Perfect health manifests, all sins are removed, fear of enemies is removed. One is saved even from the dangers of being alone in the forest, surrounded by forest fire, surrounded by robbers in a desolate spot while captured by enemies. During all these times of peril, one is graced with the protection and blessings of Devi as described in the Devi Mahatmya.
One is saved even from the dangers and protected by Devi, who chased by a lion or tiger, when chased by a wild elephant in the forest, when one is the target of order of a wrathful king, when one is sentenced to death and one is imprisoned, when one is tossed about the boat by a tempest in the ocean, and one is the most terrible battle under the shower of weapons and all dreadful troubles.
And Devi Mahatmya further describes that Devi bestows the blessings for the removal of black magic and success in litigations. Untoward death doesn't happen for him, with the devotee who participates in this Chandi Homa. After natural death, he attains moksha. All the world pleasures that are sought manifest, and also the supreme union with the cosmic mother happens. Evil possessions haunting the children are removed. The presence of evil spirits are driven away, and the completion manifests in human beings. So these are the various benefits described in the Devi Mahatmya with the sacred ritual of Chandi Homa.
The next offering is the Rajarajeshwari Ekadasha Dravya Abhishekam and Snapana Abhishekam. This is a very special offering where, as per the Shakta Agamas, 11 types of dravyams of Abhishekam items such as the rice flour, turmeric powder, Jaladravya powder, Panchamritam, milk, curd, ghee, honey, sugarcane juice, fruit juice, tender coconut water, and Gandha Jalam will be offered to the Moolavar Rajarajeshwari in the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam. Finally, the energized waters of Chandi Homa Kalashas and the Shanka, the Kant, which have been consecrated during the entire day by various powerful mantras and rituals, are offered onto the deity of Sri Devi Rajarajeshwari. The offering of this Ekadasha Dravya Abhishekam with the Snapana Abhishekam cost is $1,008.
And another sacred ritual that is performed during these days of Navaratri is the Kumari Puja, the Dashabhairava Puja, and the Suvasini Puja. This is the rarest of rituals when Devi Parashakti is invoked in living persons and worshipped. Through the initiation and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the 9 forms of Devi manifest in the women and the children present for the puja, and they accept our offerings and worship. Hinduism is a religion where everything is auspicious and is an embodiment of Parashakti. When one witnesses the worship of a physical body which is radiating Parashakti herself, the highest auspicious thought currents that occur in that person will be mirrored in our brain as well. A heightened feeling of connection to Devi Parashakti will manifest when we see her in a physical form receiving our worship as Parashakti.
The next offering is Kumari Puja, Dashabhairava Puja, Suvasini Puja. Kumari Puja is the children are the pure manifestations of Parashakti, with an innocent powerfulness through which the divine can be glimpsed. Parashakti's own extensions are Kumaris. Dashabhairava Puja, this puja is offered to young boys who are blessed by and initiated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to radiate powerful manifestations of Parashakti of Dashabhairavas. The Suhasini Puja, married women who are initiates of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism sit at the form as forms of Parashakti. This unique revival of worship is one of the rarest where Parashakti is actualized and embodied and represent an actual physical body of Suhasini. As Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, women are an embodiment of Parashakti. Here is a unique ritual in Hinduism recreating the same sacred sentiment Sri Ramakrishna had when he offered the Jadadhatri Puja to Sri Sharada Devi. So, Kumari Puja, Dashabhairava Puja, Suhasini Puja, each one cost is $1,008 US. They all happened all the 9 days.
And the next sacred ritual is the Durga Pratima Prana Pratisthapana, which you have just witnessed. A few hours ago, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself has done the Prana Pratishtha of the Durga Pratima in the HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam. And this sacred ritual, the Kularnava Tantra, describes in detail the worship of Durga Devi, which is made out of clay. And the agamic injunctions prescribe details on the way the clay should be procured. They describe exactly from which land the mud should be procured. These grand deities are made with the exact proportion as per the Shastras and are colored and decorated in the exact depiction of Durga Devi slaying the demon Mahishasura. This deity is an icon of Hindu feminism, where the cosmic mother, the cosmic feminine, vanquishes the mass negativity. And tremendous amount of energy lands when the Durga Devi receives Prana Pratishtapana by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji himself. And this sacred ritual has been performed in the land, in the Kshetra of Adi Kailash, just a few hours ago by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself.
The next is the Durga Saptami Puja. The tradition of Durga Puja is an ancient way of anyone to receive the grace and blessings of Paramashakti when she manifests powerfully in the cosmos during the nights of Navaratri. The Durga Puja is described in the Kularnava Tantra and it is done with the great pride and devotion in the traditions of Bengal. The Durga Puja is an elaborate and intimate ritual where Bhagavati Durga graces and is worshipped with all the best of the best offerings described in the Agamas. The family of Bhagavati Durga, Ganesha, Subramanya, Saraswati, along with the respective Vahanas, are worshipped and is celebrated in the puja. This puja comprises of Mahishasura, Maha Snana, Shodasopachara Puja, Arati. These are the sacred baths, the elaborate and grand offerings, and the Arati, that is waving of the light lamp. This puja is described in such detail and done preparing all year. The Durga Saptami Puja, the cost is $1,008 US.
And the Durga Puja Arati is offered on Saptami, Ashtami, and Navami. The offering of the Deepa Radhana is the offering of the flames in various covered lamps. The Gopura Arati is numbered, representing the 108 different nadis or energy centers in one's body. The Jyoti or lamp has the unique ability to dispel darkness. When we light these towered lamps and offer them to our beloved deities, the lamps awaken and align our energy centers to receive the darshan of the deities. The upliftment of our energies and senses through combination of lit lamps and the rhythmic ragas of Nadaswaram and Tawil take us to a surreal experience of deities darshan and transports us to the authentic experience of Kailasa's ambience. So this sacred ritual, you can sign up for this on the website www.com/sevas, and the cost of this seva is $1,008 US.
Next is Devi Mahatyam Parayanam. Devi Mahatya, the glory of goddess, is also known as the Durga Saptasati, Chandi or Chandi Pata. Describe the victory of the goddess Durga over the evil forces such as Madhukaita, Mahishasura, Dhumralochana, Chandamunda, Raktabija, Shumba Nishumba. Devi Mahatma is the very definition of the nature of the Divine Mother. She is the Mula Prakriti, the root nature of all that manifests. She is the force that drives everything in the universe. Devi Mahatma is also the significant in that it regards various forms of the Devi, ranging from the fearsome and dangerous Kali to the benign and gentle Shri. As fundamentally unified, the 10 priests will be chanting the Devi Mahatyam, which makes it a total of 7,000 verses every day. If you would like to participate in this seva, the cost is $508 US.
And the next offering is the Durga Ashtami Puja. This ritual is the recreation of the cosmological event when Devi Durga slayed the demon Mahishasura. The event when mass negativity was removed by Devi on the time transition between Saptami and Ashtami. This is the Sandhi. At this time, a grand puja is offered to Durga Devi along with Lakshmi, Saraswati, Ganesha, and Subramanya. When these cosmological events are recreated at the same time in history, the stars and celestial bodies are in the same position as they were years ago. The same possibilities of events happen. The same mass negativity will be attended to by the cosmic mother. These rituals are the times when the same energies of the cosmos manifests as a divine clairvoyance and clears the mass negativity from the planet. And Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 11, verse 24 describes Devi as Sarva Swarupe Sarveshe Sarva Shakti Samanvite. O Queen of all, you who exist in the form of all and possess every night, save us from terror, O Devi. Salutation be to you, Devi Durga. So you can sign up for this offering on the website. The cost is $1,008 US.
The next is Ashtami Kumari Puja. Kumari Puja is the ritual done before the Devi Durga when a young girl is decorated and worshipped as the embodiment and representation of Durga Devi. This is one of the rarest pujas when the cosmic mother comes in the form of a young girl child to accept our worship and devotion. This is one of the sweetest and most beautiful rituals to witness, especially after the powerful Sandhi Puja. So the cost of this is $508 US.
The Durga Navami Sandhi Puja and the Navami Home are offered on the Sandhi of Navami. This ritual is a recreation of the battle and victory of Durga Devi over the demons Chanda and Munda, and the event when mass negativity was removed by Devi on the time transition between Ashtami and Navami. At this time, a grand puja is offered to Durga Devi along with Lakshmi, Saraswati, Ganesha, and Subramanya. The Navami Home is a unique fire ritual done before Devi Durga Pratima and chanting a unique mantra for Durga Devi, who is invoked in the form of Agni. So you can sign up for this sacred ritual on the auspicious occasion of Navami. The cost is $1,008 US.
The next is Ayudha Puja. On the auspicious day of Navami, on the 9th day of Navaratri, the special puja is done for all the tools, vehicles, and books. This is known as Ayudha Puja and is done in every Hindu home. All the tools are washed and kept in an altar. All the cars are also washed and fresh sandalwood paste is applied on them and puja is offered. Special naivedyams and sweets are prepared for the occasion. This day, Paramashakti, who is present in all the tools and vehicles that help our lives become smooth and efficient. This is a day of rejuvenation where when all homes are cleared and all the corners of the homes and all the doors are refreshed with fresh incense and sandalwood paste. The Ayudha Puja cost is $508 US.
The next offering is the Utsava Rajarajeshwari Swarnangi Alankara Seva. The Swarnangi Seva is the offering of the golden armor to the deity of Rajarajeshwari. It is a magnificent armor that covers the deity and allows one to have pleasure of the deity in her grand glory. The golden kavacham is an offering of our love and gratitude to the deity of Rajarajeshwari in Kailasa's Nithyananda Paramashivam Devalaya, and you can make this offering of the Utsava Rajarajeshwari Swarnangi Alankara Seva for the cost of $508 US.
Then Maha Naivedya Seva on Vijayadashami. On the auspicious occasion of Vijayadashami, the Annalayas of Adi Kailasa and the devotees of the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam offer the Maha Naivedya Seva to our beloved Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. This grand offering is an offering of 1008 varieties of food. This celebration is an offering of our deep love and gratitude to our beloved Swamiji. We celebrate this Maha Naivedya Seva only 4 times a year. On the day of victories, the Maha Naivedya Seva is one that is the choicest offering one can make, celebrating Bhagwan's presence in our life. So offering of this Seva, Maha Naivedya Seva is $1,008.
The next offering is the offering of the Pada Puja on the auspicious occasion of Vijayadashami. This verse describes the glory of the Guru. It says, Shoshanam Papa Pankashya Deepanam Gnana Tejasam Guru Padodakam Samyak Samsararnavatarakam. The meaning of this verse: the water of the Guru's feet dries up the mud of the sins, lights the fire of knowledge, and causes one to cross the ocean of worldly material life of Maya in the right way. Can make this sacred offering of the Pada Puja on the auspicious occasion of Vijayadashami, and we can offer this sacred offering to the lotus feet of our Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
The next offering is Tulabharam on Vijayadashami day. Tulabharam is the ritual where material donations are made to Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism against the weight of his deity. The scriptures describe various items that can be offered, from jaggery to sugar to silver and gold. Tula means scale. It is a scale where donations are made against the weight of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's deity. The Tulabhara Seva is $10,008.
And the next offering during this Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam is the Venkateshwara Utsava Murti Alankara Seva. Offering of the Alankara Seva to the deity of Bhagwan Venkateshwara bestows deep fulfillment in life, thereby taking us closer to the Guru who liberates us from the cycle of birth and death. Every day, the Utsava Murti of Bhagwan Venkateshwara is decked in his various manifestations, gracing on various vahanas or vehicles. Venkateshwara is the Alankara Priya, the one who loves to be decorated with the finest clothing and jewelry, offering the most favorite treasures in the form of clothing and jewelry and flower garlands pleases Bhagwan Venkateshwara. And in this verse, which describes Bhagwan Venkateshwara, it describes Sahasrashircham Devam Vishwaksham Vishwashambhuvam Vishwau Narayanam Devam Aksharam Paramam Padam. The translation of this verse: this universe is the eternal being, Narayana, the imperishable, the supreme, the goal, multi-headed and multi-eyed, the omnipresent, the omniscient, the resplendent, the source of delight for the whole universe. This is from the Narayana. So you can make this offering Venkateshwara Utsava Murti Alankara Seva during this Venkateshwara Brahmeshwara, and this and various offerings can be made. You can register for these offerings, these sevas and sacred rituals as you celebrate Devi Parashakti and Bhagwan Venkateshwara during this Navaratri and Brahmotsavam celebrations. You can sign up for all of these sevas and sacred rituals on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
The next is the Utsava Venkateshwara Navakalasha Abhishekam. Today afternoon, the Srivari Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam, the Lord of the Seven Hills, Venkateshwara Utsavam, is offered a cooling Abhishekam or sacred bath offering of a unique ingredient, which are all a favorite of Venkateshwara: Kshira, the milk, curd, ghee, honey, fruit juices, coconut water, and Chandana Jalam, Shadar Jalam, Haritra Jalam, This seva is a unique offering to please the Venkateshwara. When we offer this seva, we get the grace and blessings of Venkateshwara for healthy and prosperous relationship, health and well-being, abundance in wealth, purification from karmic baggage.
And with that, now let us take a look at the website where you can register for all of these offerings, that the sacred rituals and sevas that you can participate in, that you can offer to celebrate Devi Parashakti and Bhagwan Venkateshwara during this Navaratri Utsava. So let us now take a look at the website where we can make these offerings. So here we have the website where you can learn more about all of these various sevas and offerings that you can participate in during this Navaratri and Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam celebrations. The website is www.kailasamela.com/sevas, and here you can click on the Learn More button and find out more about the various offerings to Devi Parashakti, the sacred rituals being performed this Navaratri as our offerings to Devi Parashakti. And you can also find out more about the Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam on this link, the Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam, where we are celebrating Bhagwan Venkateshwara also on these days of Navaratri. The Navaratri offerings to Devi Parashakti. Each day we have various offerings celebrating various manifestations of Devi Parashakti. So you can make these various offerings to Devi Parashakti. Some of the offerings can be made on every day of this Navaratri. The Dashabhairava Puja, the Kumari Puja and the Suhasini Puja, the Chandi Homa, the Vishesha Dravya Homa and the Purnahuti, the Alankara Seva, the Swamiji Alankara Seva and the Hopri. All of these can be made on every day of the Navaratri. And you can also offer special rituals and offerings on the days of Saptami, Ashtami, Navami and Dashami. So you can sign up for these various offerings on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas and www.kailasamela.com/Navaratri has all the details of how you can register for these various offerings and for each day. So today we are celebrating Mahalakshmi and we have the Durga Prana Pratishthapana that happened just a few hours before, and we'll be celebrating the Durga Ashtami and the Saraswati Puja, the Ayuda Puja, and the grand celebrations of Vijayadashami. So you can sign up for these various offerings and sacred rituals on the website. We also have the Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam where we are celebrating Bhagwan Venkateshwara. And you can make the offerings of the Venkateshwara Navakalashabhishekam and the Venkateshwara Alankara Seva on all days of this Venkateshwara Brahmotsavam. And as we celebrate Bhagwan Venkateshwara and Devi Navaratri during this grand auspicious celebrations of Dasara, we will now be moving into the next segment where we'll be witnessing the sacred rituals from the Adi Kailash Nithyananda Sarvajna Pita, the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya, where all of these rituals are being performed by third eye awakened beings, utmost integrity and authenticity to the agamic injunctions So let us now get ready to witness these sacred rituals and have the darshan of Devi Paramashakti and Bhagavan Venkateshwara and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, who's incarnated as the Nijavatar of Devi Parashakti and Guru in our lives. So let us now get ready for these sacred rituals.